We ready? Call to order the January 19th, 2023 Middletown Historic Commission regular meeting. James, can I have roll call?
Roger Daniel.
Here.
Sam Cornwall.
Here.
Jeremy Lukinas.
Here.
Matt Dixon. Corey Carter.
Here.
And Andy Brickler.
Here.
You have quorum.
Before we get to the second item on our agenda, I'd like to welcome Corey to Historic Commission. This is his first public meeting, so we should be as grueling as possible on him. Item number 2 is certificate of appropriateness for the Chartle House.
So there's the approval of the minutes from December 12th, 2022. I made a change on it today, and I passed it out to each of you. The change that's there is states on the very last sentence on page 2, the application was denied as submitted. It was previously sent to you as approved as submitted, but the application was denied. So that change was made. And then also we are now including in all minutes who voted for what. So you'll see that on the new minutes that I pass out to you today. You do not have to vote on that today, as I just gave it to you. We can vote on it next time. That's up to you, but did want to make that noted.
Okay. So we'll do swearing in of witnesses. Is there anybody that's going to be speaking on behalf of any of the applications we have in front of us tonight? Stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Do we have any questions, comments, motion for approval? I'll second.
Andy Brickler.
Yes.
Corey, you would abstain. Jeremy Lukinas.
Yes.
Sam Cornwall. And Roger Daniel.
Yes.
Item number 4, item number 4 is certificate of appropriateness for the Chartle House, 120 North Verity Parkway.
So tonight before us, we have an issuance of a certificate of appropriateness for the partial replacement of a portion of the chimney, 120 North Verity Parkway is the Chartle House. The former home of the Chartle family for many years, was acquired by the Middletown Historical Society in 2012. This house was built in circa 1900 and has housed many different owners over the years. More recently has served as the Women's Center and Girls Club. The applicant is proposing a partial replacement of the chimney. As you can see in the picture to the right, the chimney is needing replacement, and then to the left is the particular chimney that is going to be replaced. Middletown Historical Society, right where the arrow is exactly where the Chartle House is. As you can see, it's just stone's throw away from us, it's just to the south. There is no other permits that would be necessary. There would be no zoning permits. Maybe building may review it, but no other permits would be required at this point in time. I've also, since our last meeting, we talked about adding in the review criteria for the Historic Commission. I can read this into the record if you would like. It is about 4 pages long, and there is...
I'll make a motion to waive the reading.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
quite long. And that ends my staff report. If you have any questions from me, the applicant, or if you have any questions from me, I'm here, and then the applicant here is here as well.
Would you like to come up and speak? If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Thank you. My name is Andrew Wentz. I reside at 649
That microphone, I don't think is picking you up.
down
There's a button there. Is it on? Microphone, is it on?
here. Nothing.
Yeah, there we go.
Andrew Went. I reside at 6495 Arbor Court in Middletown. I'm here representing the Historical Society and our property at 120 North Verity. The project is the removal of the upper portion of the chimney as it has become damaged over time. And we have been advised that there is no way to temporarily patch it because we have water behind the stucco into the brick. So the bricks are now retaining moisture, and any attempt to rewrap in stucco will just lead to the moisture eventually expanding again and cracking the stucco. The chimney serves no function. There are no modern utilities that run through it. It is not original to the property, and so our request is that we be able to remove that upper portion.
Okay.
Are there any questions I could help with?
For me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from Historic Commission? I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
I'll second.
Roger Daniel,
Yes.
Sam Cornwall, Jeremy Lakinas,
Yes.
Corey Carter,
Yes.
Andy Brickler.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is certificate of appropriateness for 1320 Central Avenue.
So this application was sent to you after the original staff packet went out at the request of several staff members and the applicant himself. So this is for an issuance of a certificate of appropriateness for the replacement of a wall sign. As you notice, as you may have noticed, the sign for Beauty Nook is no longer there. It was taken down, and then we reached out to the owner, had them go through the formal process. They've applied for the application, did a certificate of zoning compliance for the new wall sign as well. This is for 1320 Central Avenue. It's a 2-story white brick building with 3 tenant spaces. The applicant is proposing a replacement of the wall sign. It's going to be similar in appearance and thickness. It's just going to be, I believe, a 1-inch board sign by 96 inches by 24 inches. It's going to be black copy with white background. It's within the UCC district as well as Central Avenue Historic District. There you can see it's on the south-facing side of Central Avenue, right across from White Dog Brewery. Other approvals and permits needed would be a certificate of zoning compliance and a building sign permit. And that covers it for me.
Do we have any questions, comments from the commission?
Well, I noticed that the owner and the applicant were different people. Do we have the approval from the owner?
We do. Well, we do. The applicant came through for a certificate of zoning compliance for a new commercial use, just making sure that what they would like to do at the building would be permitted, and the owner had signed off on that, so they're well aware of everything. Unfortunately, the applicant was not informed that any exterior changes would need to go through the Historic Commission other than by me, so.
Okay. We have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Andy Brickler,
Yes.
Corey Carter,
Yes.
Jeremy Lakinas,
Yes.
Sam Cornwall, Roger Daniel.
Yes.
Which brings us to new old business.
So we have quite a bit of new business. Some of it's just going to be repetitive, what we've heard from the last few months. But we have a new member with us, Corey Carter. He was approved, I believe, in the beginning of January. Corey, your position is for a member of the non-historic district. So it's the role you fulfill. And thank you and welcome aboard. We're all very excited to have you. We also have a new member. Found out today that Joanne Miha Yancey was also approved recently. She used to work for the city of Middletown, and she is works for the city of Kettering now. She's an architect, city planner. She has extensive background. She also lives in the city as well.
She was fun to have here.
Yeah.
She was on Historic Commission before, right?
I
Predating
believe
you.
that, yeah.
Planning, one or the other.
Yeah. So, in addition to her new member application, being approved, she does work in Kettering. Getting here at 5:30 will be tough. She said, if we could push it back to 6, that would be most ideal.
It's fine with me. Andy, I know you're hauling to get here.
Yeah, 6 would be great for me.
Perfect.
And Joan started being able to come to all the meetings once we went to Zoom because she can't get here on time from where she's coming from, so I'm okay. Do we need to vote on that?
That's a great question. Let's hold off until next time.
Okay.
I would like to talk to the law department and figure out if a vote would be necessary or if that's something that I can just arrange myself as the liaison.
I'd be surprised if it was required.
If a vote would be required.
It wasn't, not established in,
It's not established in the development code. It's not established anywhere.
Okay.
But I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Is everybody okay with that, I guess?
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Great. I'll follow up in an email. Oakland nomination. Jeremy, you reached out to me about this, I think at the end of last week. We reached out to our partners. This is still under review by NPS. So we have yet to hear back from National Park Service. So they had 45 days. It was, I believe, submitted at the end of September, beginning of October. So we should have heard something right around the holidays. Maybe the holidays threw a wrench in their plan. I'm not sure, but we should be hearing back from them soon. I'll skip code enforcement for a second. I'll go right to historic preservation. So the historic preservation, talked to Elizabeth Fields. They're still working on a draft outline. They do have a draft outline. She's going to send me a copy, and I'll forward to you all for your review. And if you guys have any questions, you can either direct it to me or direct it to her. But we're looking at getting that soon. And then code enforcement, we've had quite a bit of code enforcement issues, not just within the historic district, but other districts, people taking down signs, we're having to stop, people taking out windows. Thank you, Jeremy, for that. I have not been able to follow up with the Central Art Foundation on painting of the exterior wall. That is something that I do plan on following up. So I've sent one letter, have not followed up a second one since our last meeting, but I intend to do that next week or tomorrow. Is there any code enforcement issues that you guys would like to address to me that I can tackle?
Andy, you usually have a list.
Hmm?
You usually have a list.
No,
Guess not.
not today.
Okay.
That covers all my new and old business. Essentially just waiting on the Oakland nomination and the historic preservation plan.
Cool. All right, does anybody else on the commission have anything to add to new old business? We will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, by all means.
You guys have to swear me in. I didn't swear in.
Well, you're the
She needs
mayor.
sworn in. She needs sworn in.
Can you state your name and
I'm not talking about the
address?
legislative items, so I
Can
don't.
you state your name and address for the record?
Nicole Condry, 1407 Wren Street.
Thank you.
I just want to give you guys a few updates on some different things that are going on. I'm not sure if you watched council meetings or not, so I'll kind of review a little bit of what I mentioned last night about particularly the SORG. So I'm sure you know the SORG has a balloon payment on their mortgage, and they're doing a big push to receive funds to pay that off by June. But when we look at the longevity of the SORG and the ability to actually sustain it over time, they need to start pulling in rent from the Main Street commercial retail spaces. So they also need obviously some roof upgrades. If you haven't seen, the front of the commercial building still has a bit of the roof that is actively leaking. So if you consider all three, the balloon mortgage payment, the roof upgrades, and then white boxing those Main Street level storefronts, they're looking at a total need for 2023 of $440,000 to raise between all different sorts of community efforts. So whether the city puts some funds in, community foundation, anyone. So I just want to spread that word. You know, there are people willing to help donate to the SORG so that they can start pulling in some revenue so they can get the theater going. And then ultimately, city staff may help with, at some point, there's no commitment there yet, but to help them maybe with an RFQ process to work on that commercial building with some sort of outside assistance, because that is going to cost a lot of money. It's not realistic that private or government dollars within Middletown itself will probably get that going. So if you haven't been in there, definitely should, but I'm sure most of you have. We can get Corey up to speed on some of these. Then the other things are, we do have the RFQ that Wayland Ventures received further negotiations on, I guess is the word. We are working with them on an MOU, and the next step would be to create a downtown overall master plan with them, so some studies that would occur that include infrastructure and looking at how the best ways to lay out the downtown are to maximize our historic efforts. So that would be the next step with them, and then they're looking at revitalization of likely the Ford Sunshine building first as a catalyst for the rest of the downtown. So we're working with them very closely. They did quote today that this is the year of Middletown for them, so that's very exciting. They're really heavily involved in Dayton right now, so if you haven't seen what they're doing there, highly recommend it. They're really making some home runs. So that was really, oh no, one more. First Financial, or First National, I think I keep messing that up. Which is it? First Financial, okay. So that roof obviously needs something to be done with it. I don't personally want to hold my breath for contracts with Wayland to come through. I think it'll be too long before that happens. So I know city staff is working on getting that together so that the city can cover that roof. We understand it's a vital need. Obviously, I can't promise all my council members are going to vote for it, but we got a pretty good feeling on Tuesday night at council that people are supportive of that. So hopefully we can get that roof squared away and it can stop leaking and save the building and great things to come. So that's all I had.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, now we can, any motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
New record. Yeah, that's a new record. Hey, Corey, Andy, we're here. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, man.
First National Bank.
Must be Matthew.
Basically, First Financial.